Hello there, welcome. Come, let's just move. I'm just loving this. I'm loving waking up and connecting. Yeah, it feels really like there's something much bigger happening in me than just turning up and doing this. So thanks. Come lie on your back. Knees are bent. Your feet are on the floor. And then just pull your lower back down and flatten into the floor. And as you listen, as you move, what happens? As you arch, as you flatten down, like what's the song of your body this morning? What's the sound of you? People often ask me how I make up the sequences that we do. Start dropping your knees from side to side while I tell you the story. So I wake up in the morning and then I do my own little mini practice, just something random. And then I start thinking, like what am I liking doing this morning? Like what feels really yum? Or what connects me to me today? What feels like has integrity and expresses something of the insides of me? And that's more or less, give or take, what I teach in the class then. Something that I feel comes from the deep of me. Push your feet down into the floor and begin to roll up. And it's a bit like listening to different music, rolling all the way down, land on the floor, and then coming back up. Sometimes some songs suit you in one moment, and sometimes another suits you another time. And so it's like I twang loads of different notes in the morning, and then I find the ones that create the song of my day or my morning. So just rolling up and down and just hear the deep of you as you do this. We're just really cultivating that internal attention, that internal space, and then all the way down and land on the floor. Cool. So let your knees drop to a 45-degree angle over towards the right, and then roll over onto the top of your right arm. So I'm kind of halfway over towards the right, and then look above your head and reach your left hand towards the top of your mat. And just pause there. You'll feel a stretch down through the left arm, the left shoulder. If you need to keep your elbow bent because of your shoulder, then do. And then roll back onto your back and land. And then we'll do the other side. So roll over onto your left side. Your knees are at a 45-degree angle. Push into the upper arm. Look above your head. And then reach your right arm in the direction you're looking at. So to the top of your mat, to the right top of your mat, you're more or less reaching. And then roll back and come to the floor. And just do that a few times. It's more or less reaching for your alarm clock in the morning. So just reach, roll. Reach, roll. How far do your knees go to help you? And how far do they go when they start to hinder the movement? Like when do they stop helping what you're doing? What's the sweet spot of your knees moving to the side, your head looking up? And then just come back to center and let that settle and land into your body. Just feeling that in your neck and your shoulders and your upper arms. Nice. And then from here, pushing lift your feet off the floor, bring your palms to your knees, and then push your hands into your knees and your knees into your hands, and then flatten your lower back down. So we're going to do some abs this morning. So connecting your knees to your hands to your knees. And then push a little bit more and draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. So lengthen your neck rather than them being up, and really draw them away from you. And then keeping the push on and draw your knees towards you. And then move your knees away, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Knees towards you and knees away. So there should be a certain intensity to what you're doing right now. So for me, there's kind of this whole body shaking kind of going on. So just feel, there shouldn't be any pain. You should just feel like the kind of a shiver happening through your whole body. It's good for you. Nice. Pause there. And then keep the connection on the right side. And then bend, keeping your left knee bent, and bend your left elbow. And just touch the floor above your head. and touch your toes to the floor. And then just keep your left toes lightly touching the floor. And then a bit like, younger when you'd see a truck and you'd go honk, honk with your arm. Just stretch your arm overhead and then pull it back down towards you, bending your elbow. Just feel that you're just discovering what your elbow and shoulder can do in that reaching. Toes just floating on the floor, lightly touching. Nice. And then come back, both hands to your knees, push, shoulders away from your ears. And now let your right toes lightly touch the floor or just hover. Let your right elbow bend, touch the floor, and then just begin to move your right arm and experiment with what feels wholesome from my right shoulder. I just feel that warming up, connecting in, reaching long. Nice. And then coming all the way back. Nice. Bring your feet to the floor. And drop your knees down in one direction, drop it down in the other. Having your feet on the floor, just roll like there's a clock on the back of your pelvis, a big circle. And then roll in the other direction. Super cool. And back up we go. So bring your thighs to your palms and then push your hands into your knees into your hands. So first side, left side is going to move. So either keeping your left elbow bent and your left knee bent, touch the floor, or stretch the two of them out long. See what's right for you. And then draw your elbow to your knee and your knee to your elbow. And then keeping them bent or stretching them long. And then elbow to your knee, knee to your elbow. Again, stretching long. And then coming all the way back up. Left hand, left knee. Either keeping your elbow and your knee bent. It's quite strong already. Or give it welly. Stretch your arm out, your leg out. And then bring your elbow to your knee to your elbow. So there's always this thing of, rather than it being an intellectual abdominal exercise where you're saying, I should do this thing, what's your body saying? Like when do you have to ease off? Elbow to your knee, stretch your arm out long. One more time, elbow to your knee, stretching long. Cool. Bring both feet to the floor and just let that settle. Nothing like abs on a Saturday morning. So push your feet down into the floor and really slowly, because we've really contracted the front. Now we're going to start stretching the front. So slowly lift your hips up and feel how there's kind of a creaky opening as we lengthen the bits of us that we were really strong into. And then rolling back down again. So how do you free up or lengthen up into the belly muscles now as you roll up and down and you're really listening? It's so delicate. It's like watching something expanding in wellness because you're paying attention and really cruising the level that your body needs to be at. Cool. I'm lowering all the way down. Super. So draw your right knee up onto your chest. Lift your bum off the floor. And then from here, just let your right toe touch the floor. So your bum is off the floor. Draw your right knee towards you and then lower your bum down. Great. So again, lift your bum off the floor, knee is up towards you. Lower your toes to the floor. Bring your knee back up. Lower your bum down. So you can do that movement as it is, or you can do it with your legs straight. So I'm going to instruct with legs straight. Continue with your knee bent or straighten your right leg. Lift your hips. Lower your heel down until it's the distance down that feels right for your hips, which is probably out from your knee. Stretch your leg straight up. Lower your bum to the floor. So lift your bum. Drop your leg. Lift your leg. Drop your bum. Lift your bum, drop your leg. Your leg is either bent or straight. Lift your leg, drop your bum. One more time. Lift your bum, drop your leg. Lift your leg, drop your bum. Nice. Other side. So bend the left knee up onto your chest. Lift your pelvis off the floor. Lower your toes down, let them touch. Draw your knee towards your chest. Lower your bum down. Again, lift your bum, drop your foot, lift your knee, and drop your bum. So same thing as it is, or straight leg. Lift your bum, drop your leg, lift your leg, drop your bum. Lift your leg, lift your bum, drop your leg, lift your leg, drop your bum. Last one. Lift your bum, drop your leg, lift your leg, drop your bum. Bend both knees, bring your feet as wide as your mat. Arms straight out to your sides, and then just travel with your knees from side to side. You're just listening. And for me, there's something about this. So when my knees drop towards the right, there's something about the front of the left hip up into my belly. So I kind of give a little bit more energy into the dropping of the back leg as such towards the floor. And that stretches into the deep of my belly, into the psoas, into the lumbar spine, loads of different things. It stretches loads of different awesome things, but just the front of your hip feels really lengthened by this. I just feel that. Awesome. Cool. So rolling over onto your side, noticing how this is a similar movement to what we did earlier. And then come all the way up into your cat pose. So as always, cat pose, you can do it on your hands, or you can do it on your elbows if your wrists don't like this. And then just shoulder shrug. So squeeze your shoulders backwards and push your shoulders forwards. And squeeze your shoulders backwards and push your shoulders forwards. Nice. Squeeze your shoulders backwards, push your shoulders forwards, and then roll in a big circle. So for me, often, when I do this, I just assume that my two shoulders are doing the same thing. And then when I really start to pay attention, I notice that one of my shoulders moves and the other one doesn't really move all that much. It's just pretending to move. So do you have a shoulder that's pretending to move? And then roll in the other direction. It's like I have one shoulder that's a bit like Wonder Woman, and the other one is like a really sticky, small version of my arm. So notice for you, is there a size difference, a feeling difference, a circling difference, a mobility connection difference? Sometimes the weaker shoulder, I'm going to call it, and kind of just these funny little wobbly things, you know. Nice. Bring your hands forward, just one handprint. And if your elbows are on the floor, then bring your elbows a little bit forward. And then just sit your bum back towards your heels. And when you're here, really feel like, so you're not dropping your head down, you're like giving your fingers and your sit bones rockets, and you're trying to stretch them apart. So your sit bones are pulling way back, and your fingertips are either pushing into the floor or they're reaching and sliding a little bit. They don't really move, but I just feel that you're just trying to lengthen out all those amazing deep muscles of your lower back and your shoulders and your spine. And then rise a little bit, listening to your shoulders, and then drop down into it. Rise a little bit. And drop down into it, and then just sway a little bit from side to side, just a tiny bit. So you're leaning into the sides of your shoulders. If you're feeling it's too deep, then just reverse your hands backwards a little bit, and it'll take the tone out of your shoulders, which will ease off the stretch. So you're just leaning from side to side with your shoulders, like a little typewriter, leaning, leaning. Nice. Bring your hands back. And then pushing back into your downward dog. Just find the length of your legs. Drawing one heel back and drawing the other heel back. Bending both knees, stretching deeply through your legs. Lengthen both legs. Bend your knees. And then lengthen both legs. Nice. Come up onto your toes. Drop down into your heels. And then bring your knees to the floor. And then bring your right foot to where your right knee was. And this time, keep your knee in front of your chest. So there's two different versions of this. So keep your knee so it travels between your two arms, and sit your bum back. So it's just this kind of very squishy pose. And then lean forward so your head is over your hands. Knees between your arms as you sit your bum back. Squishy pose. and then rock forward. One more time. Lean back and forward. Next time you do it, let your knee travel out to the side. So now my knee is outside my shoulder. So I'm going to go down much more towards the floor. So listen to that. Before there was a natural stopper. Now you have to gauge how deep does my knee go? How deep does my spine go? There's much more freedom in this one. Nice change. Left foot to where your left knee was. As you rock back, keep your knee between your arms and feel the squishy into your spine. You can drop your head down in the direction of your knee. Squishy. Hey, Poppy. Squishy. Nice. Now let your knee travel out to the side. Out to the side. Notice that now you have to manage the distance yourself. Before it was just like, oh, there's the end, my friend. No, so you have to gauge the depth that your right knee can go to. Notice that. Cool. So we've been warming up our knees so that we can do a thing. So bring your hands in front of you and you're in a cat pose kind of. And then fling both feet over towards the right. So my 2 feet are over towards the right. And then bring your left hand behind you and slowly, listening to your knees, drop your left bum onto the floor and sit up. So I'm kind of in I'm going to say a mermaid pose. So your feet are over towards the right a bit and your knees are down towards the floor. So then push your left hand into the floor, lift your bum, bring your right hand forward, bring your left hand forward. And then windscreen wiper your knees or your feet over towards the left. Bring your right hand behind you. Slowly drop your bum to the floor on the right. And now I'm in mermaid with my feet over towards the left and my bum on the floor on the right. Nice. Push your right hand down, left hand forward, right hand forward. So kind of swing your feet towards the right. Left hand travels back. Sit down, forward. Swing your feet towards the left. Right hand travels back. So for those of you doing this first thing in the morning, remember your knees aren't as warm as they can be when you've been walking around and doing stuff all day. So we're going to see how it is. If you know you have anything going on with your knees, then just keep going with your hands, okay? Don't sacrifice anything for any movement. So, or you can try and do it without your hands. Only if you know your knees and your hips are very strong and your bum is strong, and you can go slowly. Otherwise, keep using your hands. Nice. Stretch your legs out long in front of you and just give some love to your knees. Just rubbing your knees. Take one knee, scrub it. I think I've said this before. I say it every single time I start scrubbing my knees. These are like puppy dogs. Oh, they just love this. They're just like, oh, thank you so much. And then the other side, scrub your knee. And just feel like not what your head is doing or what your hand is doing, but feel the kind of the bliss of your knee. And then both knees kind of poking around a little bit. Oh, it's so lovely. Nice, rub both. And then just whoosh down your legs, whoosh. And whoosh. Nice. So bring both feet so they're probably as wide as your mat or a little bit wider. And then drop both knees down towards the right. And just feel that, you're sitting up tall, your belly's having to work, your knees have dropped down, but you've really allowed your whole body to travel. Okay, come back to center and then drop both knees down towards the left. Again, you've just allowed everything to softly drop. You're not resisting anything, you're facilitating movement. And then come back up. So same thing we're going to do with the next movement. Stretch your left leg long. And so as you drop your right knee down, let everything soften. So your right knee experiences zero force. It's like my right knee is traveling through water because the rest of my body is like moving in a way that it has no resistance. So just find that. How do you move your right knee down into the middle So it just flows really naturally. For me, I like get out of there towards the left. Like my whole left side is like this way, really deeply out of my side of my leg, and I've pulled everything away from that right leg. So there's no weight into my right side. One more time. What do you do to have no resistance in the right knee? Cool. Other side. Stretch your right leg long, bend your left knee. Your thighs are at a 45-degree angle, more or less. And then with no resistance, traveling through water, how does your left knee travel down? And then back up again. So it's like your leg floats down and the rest of me is like working really hard to make sure my knee has no resistance. Okay. And then one more time. And back up. So we look at resistance then. So listen to your knees. So don't let anything else move except for your right leg. And suddenly you get stuck and there's this kind of icky feeling in your thigh and in your knee and in your foot. So that's resistance. That's where nothing is helping your leg move. And now let everything move so you can drop your knee. Nice. So that's lack of resistance. Nice. Stretch your leg out long. We'll just do resistance on the left. Left foot's on the floor. Don't move anything else. Draw your knee down. This has its place as well. Come back up and then whoosh, let your knee drop down. Let everything else move. Cool. Either come with your legs straight out in front of you or you can come into a cross-legged position and just twist, just a quick twist towards the right, looking over your shoulder. And towards the left, looking over your shoulder. Nice, and then just roll into your belly, just massaging. Just a mobilization of all your organs a little bit, your spine, your torso, and then wiggle your belly in the other direction. Nice, and then come into, again, leg straight, cross-legged as you wish, and just bring your hands to your chest and your heart. Can you feel your heart within you? Nice. Open your eyes, turn your head towards the left. Find something shiny. And then turn your head towards the right and find something shiny. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your eyebrows, take a breath down into your belly. And then just notice what you're grateful for this morning. Day 21, 3 weeks of practice. Some of you just started with Connect, and so you've done 3 weeks every day, some of you are telling me, which is so amazing. I'm so grateful that this is sticking for you. You know, somebody was telling me yesterday that never before have they had a consistent practice, and this is just flowing like water. There's no resistance to the practice. So beautiful. Just find your gratitude this morning, day 21. Nice. And either stay there or come to lie on your back. And just feel your wellness right now. Just feel, like, can you feel your hands resting on your torso? Can you feel the boundary of you? Can you feel that contact between your hands and your chest and your hands and your belly? Can you feel the contact on the floor? Nice. How beautiful, guys. So wonderful. So I shall see you all again tomorrow morning. And have a great day. Enjoy. Lovely. Thanks so much. Bye.